I am on team let the birth rate plummet to hell, and I have been waiting on the CDC to publish their data from 2024. So this is an article from the New York Times. Other outlets have been reporting on these numbers as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. It says birth rates languish in record lows. I love that word languish. It says plummet to hell to me. It says despite a 1% increase in 2024, U.S. birth rates remain in a historic slump, a trend that worries demographers and cultural critics, not clinics, critics. It says births in the United States increased by just 1% in 2024, still near the record low rates that have alarmed demographers and become a central part of the Trump administration's cultural agenda, according to data released on Wednesday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. More than 3.6 million babies were born in the United States last year, a meager rise from the record-setting low in 2023. The fertility rate, approximately 1.6 births per woman over her lifetime, is well below the 2.1 births needed to maintain the country's population through births alone. The new data represents the continuation of a long-term decline of births in the United States that began really with the Great Recession in 2007, said Ken Johnson, a demographer at the University of New Hampshire. These numbers and the reasons that they have experienced such a consistent decline are widely seen as a problem that could affect the U.S. economy in coming decades, as fewer young workers support a growing, aging population. Trump has called for a baby boom, joining with the conservative pro-natalist movement that aims to persuade more Americans to get married and have many babies. VP J.D. Vance and others in the pro-natalist movement have criticized childless young Americans, arguing that they are contributing to the potential collapse of the U.S. population because of their disdain for nuclear families and traditional gender roles. The decrease is due in part to a remarkable shift to who is giving birth. Much of the long-term trend can be attributed to the substantial reductions in teenage pregnancies over the last several decades. In 1991, the most recent national peak of teen births, 61.8 births per thousand to 15 to 19-year-olds, but that number was down to 12.7 births by 2024, a record low. We should all be celebrating. This is great news that teenagers are not having babies. Through the 1990s and into the 2000s, the fertility rate in the United States was around 2 children per woman, roughly at the level needed to maintain the population through births alone, said Karen Benjamin Guzzo, a family demographer at the University of Carolina at Chapel Hill. But those numbers were actually propped up by the high rate of teen pregnancies, distinguishing the United States from nations in Europe and Asia, which were already grappling with fertility rates well below replacement levels without the high levels of teen pregnancies. And typically, let's be real, teenagers were not just getting pregnant. Teen girls were not just getting pregnant by teen boys. Teen girls were getting pregnant by men. Grown-ups. So we should be celebrating this. We were unique in that, embarrassingly so, Dr. Guzzo said. Hopefully she's talking about it was embarrassing to have so many teen pregnancies, especially since, like I said, they were usually pregnant by actual adult men. All right, it says starting around 2000, expanded access to contraception slowly helped drive down the rate of unintended pregnancies and teen pregnancies, which have continued to decline since. Yay. But especially since the Great Recession, birth rates have fallen off in another group, women in their 20s. In 2007, there were 106.3 births per thousand to 20 to 24-year-olds, but those numbers were down to 56.7 by 2024. Go 20-year-olds, yes. The highest birth rate in 2007 was among the 25 to 29-year-olds at 117.5 births per thousand per thousand women. Those numbers dropped to 91.4 in 2024 because in the early 20s, when you're in your early 20s, you should be focused on yourself and going to college and getting your career together. And I am so happy that young ladies are doing that. Those declines have not been matched by similar increases in births among women in their 30s. One of the big questions is all these births that haven't occurred, Are they just being delayed? Dr. Johnson said, are these women going to have these babies later than they would have otherwise, or are a lot of these births going to be foregone entirely? The latest recent data seem to suggest that at least some people are foregoing having children altogether, Dr. Johnson said, adding, births in older women are up a little bit, but not enough to make up for all those births that didn't occur. The child-free movement is a thing, and more people, more publications really need to start tapping into the fact that the child-free movement is happening. People keep talking about infertility rates and stuff, but women are purposely opting out of having children. But in surveys, many young Americans will say they want to have 2 children, while shifting attitudes may play a role in the decline in childbearing. Demographers point to an increasing number of obstacles faced by people who might want to start families. Economic conditions, crushing student debt, no federally mandated paid family leave, the high cost of childcare, and out-of-reach home ownership, and a general sense of instability in the world are likely to be playing a big role in Americans' postponement of parenting. This is not just likely, this is what's happening. And if you, all they have to do is even just make a post on Facebook, on YouTube, women will answer this question because they are answering the questions in my comment section, that they are not having babies because of all of these reasons right here. It's not just a probably, this is what is happening. People don't have kids when they don't feel good about their own futures. A raft of proposals discussed within the Trump administration to give Americans incentives to have more babies includes increasing funding to parts of the country with higher than average birth rates and marriage rates, and giving a huge $5,000 baby bonus to new mothers, and increasing the prestigious Fulbright scholarships for people who are married or have children. $5,000 doesn't even cover the cost of delivering a baby in the hospital. They need to get real with these numbers. While some of those ideas have drawn support from Democrats who have long argued for more help for working families, it's doubtful that one-time interventions will actually meaningfully increase the birth rate, experts said. And it's unlikely that an increased fertility rate alone will fuel the population gain needed to get back to replacement levels, said Dr. Johnson. Of course, immigration is another factor, he added. Most immigrants are young and are relocating in order to start families. Immigrants don't just bring themselves, they bring the potential for babies in the future. And we already know with this political climate that they are running immigrants away instead of making it, feasible for people to actually even want to come here. They are making people run away. So our population will continue to decline because they're running away immigrants. The elderly people are dying. And then on top of that, many of these things that they are cutting, the funding for elderly, for veterans, for people in poverty, school lunches, and all of that, just more disincentives to have children. The Trump administration and Project 2025, they say that they want people to have more babies, but they are pretty specific with the parameters. They want you to be within a nuclear family, married, a man and a woman, so you can't be gay or lesbian. It's kind of iffy on if they really want you to do IVF or not. There's some contention. I haven't seen the consensus in all of these people, but the thing is, what they really want are white people to have more babies, Christian white people to have more babies, especially if they are straight and have a man and a woman in a household. Forget the single mothers. You do not create a family. It's very specific with the parameters, and the things that they are throwing out there as far as the incentives are quite silly, actually dumb. I'm going to get into this ProPublica article soon, definitely in another video, but this one's titled, "The Trump Administration's War on Children. The administration is quietly putting America's children at risk by cutting funds and manpower for investigating child abuse, enforcing child support payments, providing child care, and much more." And we've already talked about the fact that they are slashing Head Start, that they do not want free lunches for kids in poverty. Everything that they do is opposed to having birth rates go up. So let's get these numbers down. Let's let the numbers plummet to hell. They deserve to be down there. But let me know, what do you think? Join the conversation, like, comment, and share.